This time on UK Panda 4x4. There's a big photo shoot. There's a big puddle. And there's also a big tow as we complete our second day out in the Peak District. Day 2 at Lee House Farm had dawned to a familiar sound. With rotten weather on the cards for the day ahead, the Mark 1 gurus were all up early, trying to sort out the continued running problems that David was having with the 965. Shortly after came breakfast provided by top chefs Chris and Serena before we all hit the road up to the farm for a very wet photo shoot. Naturally, a bit of sunshine and some good scenery wouldn't have gone amiss, but as we all know, conditions like that just can't be predicted in this country, so we had to make do with some of Staffordshire's finest mud underneath some asbestos sheets instead. We all skillfully got lined up and John got the flying camera out for some wonderful aerial shots. Plenty of pictures were taken, some better than others. Then we were off for a wet afternoon under the clouds. With the weather for the second day promising to be utterly rubbish, and the fact that a number of our group members had a long drive home, it was decided that we should stick to some of the more local lanes for the afternoon. The groups and leaders had a switch around, ready to spread ourselves across the Staffordshire countryside. This time around we had Adam as our group leader, and we were running about half an hour behind Steve's group. The horizontal rain had well and truly set in by the time we had reached the river crossing.
Go, go, go!
After the car wash, it was time to get muddy again, but not before we have a look back at what happened previously. Morning of day one, before we had even set off, and John had found out that he had half of one of the springs missing on the rear of the cross. At this point, a handful of us may have been involved in some horrendous bodgery to get John's car back on the road in order to take part in the meet. Although it was Saturday morning, we were unable to get hold of a new spring for the vehicle in time from any of the local outlets. However, even the speculation of installing wooden suspension at that point probably should have been considered above going off-roading with a broken spring. As you will have seen in the first episode, this had caused a number of problems along the way, and these problems were about to get a lot worse. Fast forward back to the afternoon of day 2, and a very skinny, rutted green lane. It's a common occurrence whilst out green laning to find a collapsed dry stone wall, but unfortunately for John, this one was wrong place, wrong time. The cross was just ahead of me on the trail at this point, and with a steep climb looming ahead, no one had any idea of the damage that had already been done.
Right. Oh.
And that, as they say, was that. The dashboard on the cross had lit up like a Christmas tree and thrown a message up saying 4x4 mode unavailable at the steepest part of the climb. By this point, it became apparent that a tow was in order to get John up the hill and back onto the flat bit.
Chris, you need to go in the back so he's got more traction.
John, have you got towing on your car? Yeah.
What seems to be the problem then, officers?
The four-wheel drive seems to have broken.
Oh, it's nothing to do with the fact that it's a diesel then?
No, it's not. No.
Well, I wasn't meant to be green laning today in this, and somehow managed to get onto a green lane with this. I think it's because the mismatched tyres. It's probably the ABS playing up.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, right.
So I might have cooked my diff now as well, which is good.
Well, this is the most extreme lane today,
Yeah.
I'll take that out.
so
So don't use it.
it's definitely the best one to break down on.
Suitable vehicle for towing here.
Absolutely, yes. Yeah. The original, the OG.
No,
And driven by El Presidente as well, so.
what's really happening is I'm trying to besmirch the name of Diesel.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get up here, fine.
I probably could.
Me and John were just having a conversation. John's just talking away, just driving up there, just like.
Yeah, just don't keep bothering.
We need to work fast, he's going to lose all his washer fluid soon.
If you drive one of these diesel Pandas off-road, the ones with all the torque that are really good going up hilly bits, you need one of these.
But it's not, there's not a lack of torque, which is
How big was the engine for?
Yeah, keep the revs on, John, that's all you need to do.
take up the slack. That's not working. The hook yours up to the front of it, John.
What do you think, Fred?
Professionally done.
Professional.
Andy's the man. The man that can.
We love our leader. Thoughts on that then?
Went well, didn't it?
Yeah, very well done. Very well done.
First time, second time.
Unfortunately for John, the previous contact with the collapsed dry stone wall had smashed the differential casing on the rear of the cross. This in turn had resulted in all of the oil escaping, meaning there was no electro-hydraulic actuation in order to excite the viscous coupling, which is what makes four-wheel drive possible. After all the excitement, the Mark 1 showed us just how capable it was in standard form, and we carried on for the last few lanes of the day. As the light began to fade, we made our last stop of the day, the yew tree at Calden Low, where we met a new friend, enjoyed some old school games, and had a final catch-up before the day was done.
Here's the 1982 ball and peg world champion, Steve Varley, turning up to play. Ooh. And that's a solid 7 from Steve there.
Well guys, that's a fantastic end to a brilliant weekend in Staffordshire. We've got all the cars in the shed, it's chucking it down, we're cold and freezing, but we've had a great time. Thanks very much for watching everyone, see you on the next one.